Okay, so section 5.2 for intermediate algebra is exponent rules continued. They really just added the power rule to this section, but let's go ahead and cover that. So they want us to use it using positive exponents only as well. So here, since we're raising to that power, we'd have 9 times -4, so we'd have -36. And since it's a negative power, we'd have 1 over x to the 36th. Over here with this power, we raise everything to that power. So I'd have 2 to the 4th power, then x, 6 times 4 is 24, then -3 times 4 would be -12. Since this is a negative exponent and they have used positive exponents only, we're going to bring it to the top. So let's go ahead and do 2 to the 4th power. It's not 2 times 4. It's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 4, 8, 16 x to the 24th. And since that one's negative, we bring it to the top. Okay, here we go. Using positive exponents only. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute this negative first. And then 5 times -3 would be -15. Remember, this would be 1. So we'd have b to the -3, and then c. A negative times a negative is still a positive when multiplying these, so 6 times 3 is 18. Now everything that's negative will go to the bottom, so c 18. I'm going to go ahead and do my 4 times 4 times 4, so 16 times 4 is 64. A to the 15th b cubed. Okay, continuing. So 5 times -6 would be -30. Y, -8 times -6 would be positive 48. Z, negative times a negative, and it's 1 times 6, so 6. Only thing that's going to move is this x to the -30th, and we're going to bring it to the bottom. So I'd have y to the 48th over x to the 30th, z to the 6th. Okay, so this one we're going to be able to simplify, and so we're going to use the quotient and the power rule on this one. So let's do the quotient rule first, because I always like to simplify what's in the parentheses before raising it to that power, because sometimes it can get a little messy if not. So if I had -7 subtract -8, so that would be +1. So I have a to the 1st power and then raised to the -6, so a to the -6 power, which would be 1 over a to the 6th power. Here we can quotient rule again, so I'd have 2 subtract 6, so I'd have -4, so I have 3x to the -4th power raised to the 3rd power. So 3 cubed, so 3 times 3 times 3, 9, 27 x, and that would be -12. So we got to write this using positive exponents only. 27 over x to the 12th. The big thing I see on these is people always forget to raise that number to the power. So we have a fraction with just real numbers raised to -2, so I'd have -2 over 2 to the -2. I'm going to flip it so that they don't have the negative exponents, and then actually square them. I'm going to simplify all this first. So 4 over 12 would be 1/3, and then 7 subtract 5 4 subtract negative 3, so it'd be 4 plus 3, so y to the 7th. And then all this is to the negative 2nd power, so I'd have x to the negative 4, y to the negative 14th, and 3 to the negative 2. Then I'm going to change all these so that there's no negative exponents. So 9 over x to the 4th, y to the 14th. I haven't done intermediate algebra on my math lab before, so I'm going to assume when you get here it's going to tell you it's wrong until you actually square that whole number. Okay, here, this one, 5 times negative 3, so negative 15. Change it so there's only positive exponents. Same thing here, 8 times 8. And then change it so it's only positive exponents. These you can't combine, so I'd have x to the negative 10th over y. Negative times a negative is a positive. Now when I bring this one to the bottom, because it's the only negative, the 8 will stay on the bottom. We'll put 1 there. Okay, so negative times a negative, so 4 to the 8th power. And then I'd have 7 times negative 2. And then remember 1 times negative 2, so x to the negative 2. And I'm going to have 4 to the 8th, y to the 14th, x squared. I gotta know what 4 to the 8th power is. So 4 times 4 times 4, 64 times 4, and that's only 4. Calculator. I'm getting a calculator. Yeah, I was gonna keep doing 65,000. So 65,536 y 14 x. Yay! Okay, I can't simplify here, so I'd have 2 to the negative 2, x negative 4 times negative 2, negative 2 times negative 2. So I just have to move my 2, so x to the 8th, 2 squared, y to the 4th, x to the 8th, 4, y, 4. I can simplify this one. 2 over 4 would be 1/2, and then 4 subtract 3 would be 1, and we're going to raise that to the 4th power, so I'd have x to the 4th over 2 to the 4th. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. Okay, so here we're going to product rule on the top, so y to the negative 15th over y to the 4th. And then I'm going to do negative 15 subtract 4, which would be y to the negative 19th, and then I'm going to write that using positive exponents. Okay, let's see what we got here. I can't combine these two because they have different bases, but I can switch them, so I'd have 5 squared over 3 squared. Now here I have negative 5 subtract negative 9, so that would be a positive 4, so I'm going to put a positive 4 here. And then I have 3 subtract negative 2, so that'd be positive 5, so I'm going to put it up here as well. And then 5 squared, 25, c to the 4th, b to the 5th, over 3 squared is 9. Here we go. First I need to do everything in here to that power, so I'm going to have x to the 4th Then 4 times that negative 7 would be negative 28. And then remember, these have 1s, so b to the negative 7th, c to the negative 7th. Then I'm going to combine these two. So 4 plus negative 28 would be negative 24. So I have x to the negative 24th, b to the negative 7th, c to the negative 7th. And I'm going to write that using positive exponents. So I'm going to put them all under 1 and take away that negative. Okay, this one is very similar to 16. So I'm going to move these since I can't combine them, so I'd have 5 squared over 3 cubed, and I'd have 2 subtract 7, so that would be negative 5. So I'm going to put it down here. And I have negative 4 subtract negative 2, so that would be negative 2. So I'm going to go ahead and put that here. I have 25 over 27x to the 5th y squared. So wait, on this one, we're still going to raise it to that power. It's just we're going to have to distribute this. So I'm going to have x to the 5 times 6, 5 times 2. Same thing on this one. So we'd have 3 times 7x minus 6. So b, 3 times 7 is 21x, subtract 18. Here we'd have y, 4 times 2a would be 8a, over y, 8 subtract 3, or a subtract 3. Then 8a subtract 3, which means when we're subtracting a binomial, we'd add this 3, so I'd have 7a plus 3. That one's kind of mean. This one may be worse. Okay, so we have to remember that 2 is going to go to the 4th power as well. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is x, and 5t times 4 would be 20t. And then we'd have x, and 4 times 4t minus 1, so 16t minus 4. So we're going to have 20t subtract 16t subtract 4. I'm going to change that sign, so we'd have 4t plus 4. So 16x to the 4t plus 4. This is getting crazy. Okay. Perform the indicated operations. Use scientific notation. Use the multiplication symbol in the math palette as needed. TI is letting people download the TI Inspire for free right now. And I know we've been working on using these in class. So I would highly recommend you go ahead and download that. And then I want it in scientific notation. And I think all the last few are just going to be that. So I'll go ahead and show you on my calculator. But and it says e to the 9, so 6 times 10 to the negative 9. And then we have this one, use scientific notation. I'm going to get to my, so 0.0057 over 0.019. And it's e to the negative 1, so 3 times 10 That's 5.2.